Welcome back. Taking your phone calls on the Bordas & Bordas hotline. 412-575-2600 is the number. Also taking your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. We'll start with the phone lines. We'll start in Brad in Duncansville. Brad, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, Josh. Hi, Ron. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I have a Pirate comment and a Pirate question.
Okay.
My Pirate comment is, well, I want to know the ruling on the play-at-the-plate rule.
Good luck. We don't know it either.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out.
We don't know either.
My understanding is if the catcher has the ball, he can block the plate. He can't. Got to give a guy a place to slide if he doesn't have the ball. This guy clearly had the ball. I thought it was a legal play, and I didn't think it should have been challenged. Clint Hurdle thought differently. The umpires agreed with me.
I would agree there, too.
Okay, my Pirate question is for you. If they do shut down Polanco, do you think they'll go out and make him a trade for a veteran outfielder down the stretch?
Depends who clears waivers.
Yeah, I don't know who's out there right now. I mean,
part.
Jay Bruce might have been a choice at one point.
He was the best option.
I think they probably feel like they got their outfielder in Sean Rodriguez, that he can play anywhere out there. We'll see. But Polanco, I can't imagine is going to play again this year.
I wouldn't expect it. And here's another thing to look at. How about the guy that played tonight? How about Adam Frazier? How about him as an option? Play him out there every day. He's
had a couple hits tonight, drove in the run, and
he's proven he can hit lefties. He's proven he can hit righties. He got a triple tonight that drove in their only run.
But they have four runs in these 3 losses. That's just not good enough. Not good enough at all.
It's not good. It's not good. Leaving runners on base, and we've seen this team struggle with runners in scoring position for a couple years now. This isn't a new problem that they've had. It looks like it's continuing to rear its ugly head again. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to John in Green Tree. John, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call, man. How are you?
Thanks for calling in. How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, what's going on with the Pirates, man? Why can't the Pirates win the game? Thank you.
That was about the simplest, most existential
question.
Yeah,
they're just not maybe good enough. That could be the problem. You tend to be.
Good place to start.
You tend to be what you are. As Dennis Green said, we know what they are, know who they are.
They are what we thought they were.
And right now you're 51-68. That's not good enough. That's tonight again. The opportunities. Bell gets thrown out at the plate. I believe they had second and third, 1 out, and Marte hits a little bloop to the second baseman. Neil Walker, by the way, and then Harrison bounces out to Walker. They left guys on base. It's kind of strange to see Neil in a Milwaukee uniform, wasn't it?
That it is. That it is. And for him to be traded for the second time in 3 years, I imagine it's something that's kind of jarring for him too. But back to your point about the Pirates and their record, the old Bill Parcells saying, "You are what your record says you are."
Right.
And right now they're a team that's below 500.
4th place and 3 games below 500.
And can't seem to either get above 500 and stay there, or stay at 500 for that matter. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Randy in Beaver Falls. Randy, you're on the Nightly Sports Call. You there, Randy?
Yeah, I'm there.
What you got?
Hey, how you doing, Josh? And how you doing, Cookie?
Good.
Good.
What's going on with James Harrison and T.J. Watt here? James Harrison, I think he should be starting and learn a little bit from from T.J. should learn a little bit from James Harrison.
What gives you the impression that T.J. shouldn't start? Just curious.
He's just young, you know, and I figured he could learn some off of James Harrison there. And I know James is 40 years old, but he got a work ethic that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
He is. What's the word I'm looking for? He
maniacal.
Maniacal is the word. I was going to say he may not even be human in some aspects. That's definitely true.
I didn't really like the timing of this decision. I don't know what the rush is.
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I did too. I've learned a long time ago never to write off James Harrison, and I'm not going to do that now. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time this year, and I think he's going to be productive. I'm not having a problem with Watt starting. That's great. I just don't know why you announce it so far in advance of the game. And to me, you kind of disrespect Harrison by what you said about him, call him a relief pitcher, saying basically we hope he doesn't play. We want the young guys to play. I'm sure James isn't thrilled about it. He'll probably take out his anger on the weights in the weight room at 4 in the morning when he always works out. I just didn't like the timing of this. Again, so far so good with Watt. I'm not going to put him in the Hall of Fame based on what he did against the football Giants reserves the other night. But he's been impressive all through camp as well. They drafted him #1. Clearly they like him. I will just make you a prediction. James Harrison contribute to the success of this team this year.
I would agree with that. I think they used the wrong R word. I think instead of using relief pitcher, maybe they should have used rotation. The best defense.
Joey Porter went
rotations.
out of his way to say they don't want to rotate guys.
Which is
he
interesting.
went out of his way to say that. I didn't get that at all.
We've seen it in Denver with the better defenses. Denver's done it for a while. New England's been able to rotate guys. The better defenses in the league have rotated pass rushers, and that's successful doing it. Houston does it.
Last year they stopped doing it, and when they did in the late second half of the season, it was Harrison who was playing every snap and was their most productive player. He was productive all the way into the playoffs.
Yeah, I was asked that question yesterday, and my answer was, well, maybe the basis of comparison was that the other guy was Jarvis Jones, and maybe that's why it looked like it was easier to just have Harrison doing it. I'd say just for the fact that T.J. Watt has come in and been conditioned throughout training camp, he already has a leg up on Jarvis Jones. Remember, Jarvis Jones talked about he hit a wall early in his rookie year. T.J. Watt has already shown he at least has the conditioning part down. So maybe he already has a leg up on what Jarvis Jones was his rookie season.
I'm more worried about another linebacker than the outside guys. I'm worried about Ryan Shazier. Apparently,
many people are,
this
yeah.
hamstring, my colleague at the Post-Gazette, Ray Fittipaldo, described him going through drills yesterday. Said he couldn't even walk through the drills because it hurt too bad. He was grimacing. We're only, 25 days away from the opener. I don't know. Ray said he thinks it might be a couple weeks more than a couple days. So Shazier's got to get well. He's a big part of that defense.
Yeah, I think especially when you don't have Lawrence Timmons, it makes it even more important.
You got Vince Williams there. Who's your depth? Matakevich is your backup at both spots inside.
Matakevich, maybe Steven Johnson, L.J. Fort. I mean, that's where you start to dip into if you don't have a healthy Shazier. Now, if you have Shazier and Williams out front and Matakevich maybe is your number 3, you feel a lot better. But if you can't get Shazier healthy in week 1, you really start
to have
a
always been the knock against him, man. When he plays, he's phenomenal. He was a Pro Bowl player last year and was huge in what they did in the second half of the season, but he's got to stay healthy.
It's really disappointing to see something like that happen because, like you mentioned, when he plays, he's phenomenal. What he does is really valuable to what this defensive scheme does. We'll go to Bernadette and Ross Straver before we take a break. Bernadette, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hello, Josh.
Hello, Bernadette.
And Ron. I would like to say I enjoy watching the program when you're on,
Thank you.
Josh. And also I would like to compliment Ron Cook on a well-written article that you wrote about Sean Rodriguez. Excellent, excellent article.
Yeah, I wish he wouldn't have taken a called third strike to end the game tonight, but I think the teammates love him. I think he's given them a lift since he's been back. Obviously, won the first game with a home run. This team was begging for some help, begging for somebody to come in and to get an old face. I don't know if you saw the video. Andrew McCutchen bounded across the room, ran across the room and bear hugged him. I haven't seen McCutchen smile like that all season.
Really?
I think Sean Rodriguez can help you. I think he'll probably get a lot more playing time now with Polanco out, but I don't know that he's going to be enough to help them catch the Cubs. But it's nice to see him back. I think he's a real pro's pro.
Well, got to take a break here. We come back. We'll answer more phone calls or answer more tweets. Stick around.